The Aeluin Emperor has decided to take the fight back to the raiders. After decades of patrolling their coastline in hopes of lowering raider numbers, the Aeluin navy gathers together and takes an invasion force towards the Forbidden Isles. Landing on a barren coast, King Glorin leads an expeditionary force to find a campsite. Instead he finds a very unwelcoming host. Amidst a barren landscape with pools of cooling lava and menhirs spiking into the sky. The Aeluin force breaks from its march formation, with Sindarin and militia archers in front followed by the spearmen, and the Phoenix Lord with his retinue. King Glorin and his knights break to the left, as the rearguard of militia archers warily eye up a petrified forest. From the hill on the right a tamed youngling dragon roars, as it flies over the bolt thrower guided by a nearby magi.
From out of the fumes emerge the dread Lord Andoturno and his fire guard. Whilst the bulk of his force consists of repeater crossbowmen and bolt throwers, he has wisely commanded his sorceress to summon a demon. Finishing off his force is a beast master, riding his clawed fiend and 2 Lamia attendants. Turn 1. The sorceress leads forward the crossbowmen. Casting Soul Transfer, she buffs all the crossbow units and one of the Lamia.
An Aeluin prince leads the militia bowmen forward, and his keen vision spots another ranged unit opposite the lava pit. As his unit fires a volley he notes a menacing figure amongst the survivors.
The Lamia moves to support the sorceress.
As the spearmen follow the archers, the mage rides ahead eager to dominate the battlefield.
Dread Lord Andoturno eyes the Magi wearily.
Following the Magi's path is the tamed dragon.
Emerging from behind the rocks is the hulking presence of a giant demon.
Undaunted, the Phoenix Lord leads his retinue forward. The Beast Lord matches the demon's movement. The Sindarin march forward, as King Glorin holds his knights in check, uncertain of where to take his powerful knights. At the end of turn 1, neither side have control of the objective, and both sides seem reluctant to enter the dangerous terrain.
Turn 2. The sorceress continues to burn through the souls she has trapped, buffing the Beast Lord, Demon, and remaining Lamia.
The prince, sensing a chance to eliminate a deadly foe, encourages the militia archers to cut down the last of the crossbowmen, but the menacing lord remains in place.
Swooping forward is the Beast Lord.
While on the other flank the Magi trots forward, summons his mana and blasts the last crossbowman away.
Taking the hint, the Dread Lord falls back into the shadow of the demon.
Militia spearmen continue to advance around the lava pit.
The Lamia seeks to flank the crossbowmen,
while Sindarin lead the charge on the left.
As the Lamia group up,
the militia archers wisely avoid the petrified forest, and move to support the Sindarin.
Dark Elf bolt throwers bide their time.
King Glorin comes to a decision to move to his left flank.
Surprisingly and worryingly, the giant demon does not move forward.
Not so the Phoenix Guard, who bravely stride on. Still not willing to leave the Magi, the young dragon is now far to the right of the battle.
Turn 3. The sorceress, never one to miss a chance to entrap a powerful soul, leads the crossbowman forward, and blasts the Magi, capturing his soul to power her spells. At the same time, the crossbowmen introduce the Aeluin Elves to nefarious technology, and their repeater crossbows annihilate the spearmen.
The few remaining militia spearmen advance forward, led by a prince eager to exact revenge.
The Lamia wisely chooses to hide behind a petrified grove.
Shocked by the spearman's fate, the elven prince leads his bowmen forward to return the favor.
The Lamia stays grouped.
The young dragon panics and continues on its way to the far right.
Maybe it senses something as the demon now decides to advance forward.
Knowing he leads the most powerful part of the force, the Phoenix Lord urges his men forward towards the demon. The young Sindarin, knowing no fear, advances towards the petrified forest, and what will prove to be the most important location on the battlefield. They are supported by militia bowmen.
The Beast Master lands behind the Lamia, his thoughts unknowable.
King Glorin's thoughts, though, are clear: advance quickly and get to grips with the foe, before all are cut down by ranged power.
Turn 4. The sorceress knows that the ranged war could well decide this battle, so she commands her crossbowmen to return volleys into the archers, which they do to brutal consequences.
The Sindarin see the arrows flying to their right, and some of them take part in the action, to little effect.
Dread Lord Andoturno makes his way to the central point of his defense.
The Aeluin prince and his surviving spearmen continue to advance upon the crossbows.
The Lamia attendant believes herself hidden, though keen-eyed elven archers spot her and unleash.
Just as their last volley falls, from out of the skies they see a swooping monster. Seeking to save the archers, King Glorin rushes the knights forward.
Unfortunately for the king, there are more than one Lamia. Furious at her sister's cries of pain, the Lamia slithers forward. Spotting the Golden King, she turns her baleful gaze upon him, and the king is no more.
Regaining its wits and now seeking to hurt those that harmed the Magi, the young dragon turns towards the foe. Eager to support the militia archers, the Phoenix Lord rushes forward,
only for the giant demon to launch itself into the air and land amongst the guard. With a massive sweep of its giant side, the majority of the guard burns to a crisp. The Lord leads the survivors back, as the demon falls back to hunt the spearmen.
On the hill, the bolt thrower crew spot the carnage, and seek to bring the demon down. At the same time, the prince and remaining archers continue their ranged duel with the crossbow horde. Turn 5. With a fiendish scream, the Beast Master falls from the sky upon the militia archers, and scatters them to the winds. The enraged Aeluin prince ignores the giant demon, his focus solely on the repeater crossbow horde. The inflamed elves throw themselves into the fray, but the numbers are too much. In no time at all, only the prince remains. As he pauses to catch his breath, the crossbowmen seem to be retreating, only for the sorceress to turn her malevolent magic upon his soul, and her power bank continues to grow.
Following her lead, the crossbowmen redress their ranks, and the elves on the flanks launch bolt after bolt into the remaining Phoenix Guard, leaving yet another Aeluin Lord isolated.
The bolt thrower crew continue to harass the demon to small effect.
Still enraged, the Lamia turns her pernicious sight to the knight's commander, and another elf turns to dust, blowing away in the relentless wind.
Never underestimate a Phoenix Lord. Vowing to avenge his fallen retinue, the Lord rushes the giant demon, and carves big chunks from its chthonic hide.
The demon turns from the Lord and moves towards the Sindarin. Is it retreating or looking for more numerous prey?
The Sindarin form a spear wall, as the back ranks loose arrows, upon the oncoming demon.
The wounded Lamia moves to support her sister.
The young dragon arrives. Only it knows which of the many foes it will unleash its fiery breath upon.
The bored Dark Elf Bolt Thrower crew spot a lone elf in the distance and make a game of seeing who can skewer him first. For the Phoenix Lord it is a decidedly unfair game.
The militia archers raise tired arms, and still continue to try to affect the battle. The remaining irate knights, boiling at the damnable actions of the Beastmaster, run him down before he can take to the skies, driving their heavy lances into the fiendish beast. As the sky lights up in the glow of twilight, the results of the battle hangs in the air. Will it be the dragon, the Sindarin, the demon, or maybe the sorceress who decides the outcome? Turn 6. Infuriated, the young dragon breathes extirpating dragon fire upon the dark elves, as its claws tear apart their flimsy armor, scattering the sorceress and her flimsy guard.
The Beastmaster commands his clawed fiend to tear apart the knights, leaving only the standard bearer alive.
Not willing to let the demon get away with its sacrilegious ways, the bolt thrower and archers almost bring it to its knees.
At the same time, the wounded Lamia finally gets revenge, its gaze ending the lone standard bearer's life.
Tired Aeluin archers refuse to give up, but the giant demon, even as its tether to this realm is starting to dissipate, charges the Sindarin. A lot of its fervor is now waning, and even though the Sindarin are forced to give way, they lower their spears and charge back into the demon in a vain attempt to get past it.
The bored Bolt Thrower crew take a break from celebrating their previous game, and snapshots at the passing dragon. As Lamias circle the petrified forest, a clawed fiend feeds upon elf flesh, and a dread lord, still angry at what happened at the start of the battle, charges into the young dragon, only to find its hide far tougher than the monsters he's used to torturing. Fortunately for Dread Lord Andoturno, his indomitable armor holds firm, and he is able to fall back towards his forces. Night falls, and few of the Aeluin elves are able to escape the Dark Elf slavers, who traverse over the battlefield testing all corpses, for the wounded and lame.
The kingdom of Aeluin contains many kings, some rule provinces, some rule political or religious factions. All are equal except for the one above, the Emperor.